Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ryan Retro channel. Today is a very exciting video for me because I'm going to try two really famous handhelds in this niche. These are handhelds that many people credit as being the ones that got them into this whole scene in the first place. I've never actually used them myself, but when I asked many of my subscribers, many people in my Discord room, what handhelds got you into this hobby in the first place, many people said the Miyoo Mini. Whether it was the bigger Miyoo Mini Plus or the daintier Miyoo Mini V4 or earlier version, the original Miyoo Mini, this is what got them into this hobby, what made them love this hobby, and many people continue to love these today. There is a really lively community for these on Reddit. I just want to get myself into this community, try them out, and see what all of the fuss is about. I will of course need to compare them to my beloved TrimUI bricks, which I think in many ways is a more modern version of this, but that remains to be seen. I don't actually know yet because I need to try it out. So this video is going to be broken into two sections. The first section is going to be my real first hands-on, seeing them for the very first time, seeing what they feel like, how is the experience out of the box, the stock experience with the software and games that may come with this. This one comes with a 128GB SD card, so let's see what goodies are on board and we'll see how the stock experience is. Then I'm going to go away and set up Onion OS, which is what everybody says makes these truly special. I don't know if it comes with Onion OS out of the box. I've never used Onion OS before, but I think it's something I have to go away and install by myself, which I will do after the first part of this video. I'll set everything up properly according to the user guides online, then I'll come back for a second hands-on experience with Onion OS, the way everyone says they should be set up. So let's put the brick to the side for the moment and let's do our first unboxing. So the first thing I have to say is I got this one from the Ampone store on AliExpress, a very reliable place to get one. It came in just about 4 days and seems to be just what I ordered. Now the Miyoo Mini V4, I was struggling to find any of the colors I wanted in stock. I wanted the white one or the retro one, maybe even the translucent black one, but everything was out of stock. So I looked around and I found a really good cheap deal on a yellow one. But if you look closely here, that ain't yellow. So yeah, I think I may have cheaped out a little bit too much on this one. And not only did this take about a month to deliver, they sent me the wrong color. So I've now updated all of the links on my store, ryanretro.com/store, to make sure all of the links are trustworthy stores like Ampone and brands that I recommend, not just the cheapest option I can find, because I think it's worth spending a little bit more to make sure you actually get what you ordered. So let's check these out, starting with the slightly smaller one, the one that seems to have come in the wrong color, the Miyoo Mini. Let's open up this quite nice little case that it seems to come in, little carrying case. And yes, as you can see, that's not yellow. I mean, that part is, but I don't think that's what I selected at checkout. So let's open it up and it seems to be a transparent blue, which to be fair is pretty nice. This is a very cute little handheld. The first thing that strikes me are these shoulder buttons, which are very angular. Let's just move some of the gubbins off the table so we can see this a little bit more clearly. These shoulder buttons almost look like a triangle. They are very, very angular, so we'll see how comfortable that is in use. The buttons overall feel pretty spongy, quite comfortable. I like that it's small enough that you can almost use these 4 face buttons like a D-pad. I can just plop my thumb in the middle like that and kind of roll it around the buttons. That's nice. Start and select feel quite cheap, but seem like they do the job. Here I assume is either a power button or a menu button. I'm going to assume this is some kind of menu button. And the power button's probably somewhere else. Ah, there it is on the top. So let's see if we have any juice in the tank. We do have a quite obnoxiously bright green LED. And here we go, Miyoo Linux Games. We have what looks like a volume slider, which is nice and nostalgic. Reminds me of my Game Boy Advance. We have a USB-C port, headphone jack, the included micro SD card. There is a lot crammed into this tiny little thing. So here we have our favorites, our games, RetroArch app settings. Let's go straight into game and see what we've got. So I believe this is not Onion OS. I'm going to need to go in and install that later, which I'll do very soon. We have Famicom games, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Mega Drive, Super Famicom, PlayStation, Master System, WonderSwan Color, Final Burn Neo, MAME Plus, and Neo Geo. So let's see if they have my usual testing game, Sonic the Hedgehog, on the Mega Drive. They have Sonic 1, and maybe that's Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the one that I usually test, right there. Let's see. Let's get some volume up. It is indeed. Let's see if I can lower the brightness so you can see that a little bit better. So now with the brightness turned down, you should be able to see this pretty well, and it seems to run pretty nicely. The screen seems to be quite low resolution. I'm not sure if there's some kind of shader on there, or that's just how low the resolution is. But you know what? It's running really smoothly, and it feels very comfortable as well. This is a good first impression from me. I was a bit worried I'd find this to be quite terrible compared to something like the Brick, but no, this feels nice. It feels very light, comfortable. I have a good first impression of this. It's a nice little handheld. Now, of course, we're going to change the software soon to Onion OS, but let's just try out one more game. Here is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on the PlayStation 1. The audio doesn't sound perfect, but it seems to be working. Let's see if we can do a little grinding. Oh yeah, we can. Beautiful. This is working surprisingly well. I am impressed with this little guy. So I'm going to install Onion OS on this soon and try how that is. But first of all, let's check out its slightly larger sibling, which comes in a pretty fancy looking box. Let's slide this open. It really has the retro kind of colors. Also reminds me of Noctua. Let's slide it open and check it out. So what do we have? This is the color I ordered, thankfully. This is the purple version. I wanted to try something purple because I had a purple Game Boy Color and I want to relive that nostalgia. It's, yes, very similar to the other one. It seems to have some kind of screen protector on it, but I think this is one that I need to peel off. Lovely. The green light is annoyingly still shining on this one, even after turning it off, which is something I hope is going to go away soon. But yes, these are very similar. You can see this one is just a little bit larger. It has the same ports on the bottom, the headphone jack, the micro SD card, and the USB-C port. Interestingly, they've changed the volume here. We have the volume wheel on the Mini and the plus and minus buttons on the Miyoo Mini Plus. The right side on both has absolutely nothing, and the top has that identical power button. So let's see if we have this identical obnoxious light. Oh yes we do. Joy. Splash screen was exactly the same there. I think this is going to be pretty much identical to this, just with a bigger screen and bigger shell. So let's see how it feels in comparison. The D-pad feels pretty much the same. The face buttons feel very nice. Let me see if there's any difference there. I think they're pretty much the same, but these ones feel a little bit shallow to me. These ones feel super nice. They feel like they have a little bit more travel. I'm not sure whether they actually do, but they feel like it. These might be the nicest face buttons I've used on any handheld. These are very nice to press. Again, we have the Famicom, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Mega Drive, Super Famicom, PlayStation, Master System, and WonderSwan Color. But on the next page, we've got some more things here. The Atari 2600 and 7800, FF Play, which I'm assuming is a video player, MAME 2010, MAME Plus, Neo Geo, Pico Drive, and SMS Plus. Let's just check out what FF Play is, if there are any videos for us to watch. We do, we have a DVD. Oh, it's some kind of Street Fighter video. Okay, well I guess you could add your own videos here. And this does seem like a nice little thing to watch some videos on the plane or in the car. So I could see that as being a little use case for this, with the nicely larger screen than the Miyoo Mini. Let's jump into that exact same first game again, just to see how it compares before we jump into a different one. Once again, Sonic 2, it seems to be the same SD card pretty much, just with a few more systems. The screen's still quite bright. It's very loud and sounds really good. Again, it has a kind of blurry quality to it, like a CRT filter. But even if the resolution is lower, it's more than adequate and it's very comfortable. I don't think this is something that needs a 4K resolution, so I'm not going to hold that against it. The thing I'm more worried about is how this light is still turned on. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go away and I'm going to get my new SanDisk SD cards, which I will link in the description if you want to buy your own SD cards. I always recommend official, real, genuine SanDisk ones, so I'll put some affiliate links there if you'd like to buy one and support me. And I'm going to load up both of these with 256GB SanDisk cards with Onion OS. The thing that everybody says makes these truly special. So I'm truly very excited for that.
2 weeks later.
So it's been a couple of weeks since I last left you in that video, and I took these guys back to the UK with me to see my family over the holidays. And on the way back, I got stuck in snowstorms in Amsterdam, and I had to sleep on the floor of the airport for more than 50 hours. But that's a long story for another day. Let's focus on these beauties. And I have to say, I absolutely adore one of them. One of these handhelds has quickly become one of my favorite handhelds of all. And the other one is just kind of okay. And which one do you think I really love? It is this one. I really love the Miyoo Mini V4. It's the size of a pack of cards, but it has so much power for how cheap and small it is. I was blown away by what I could play on this little thing. The Miyoo Mini Plus, as far as I'm aware, is the same power. The only real advantage I know of this one is that it has Wi-Fi, but I couldn't really find many uses to actually use Wi-Fi for. It also, of course, has a bigger screen, and some people will find it more comfortable because it's a bigger chassis, but to me, I actually prefer the comfort and feel of this one, and I really just love how light and easy it is to pick it up with one hand, throw it in a pocket, pick it up again, and get gaming. And while I have so many games here installed and ready to play and switch between, the one that I played by far the most has been the original Grand Theft Auto on the PlayStation 1. I remember playing this as a little kid, and being able to play it so smoothly on such small handhelds just really gave me so much joy. I've been really loving getting back into Grand Theft Auto 1. I haven't played it like this since I was a kid. I really get how these just bring back that nostalgia of retro gaming. These handhelds are just absolutely made for this niche that we're in, this hobby that we love. And it's mostly because of Onion OS, which I have now installed, and I completely see the hype about it. Onion OS is a custom firmware like you see on plenty of other devices, but the true killer feature is the game switcher. For anyone who doesn't know, and I do know a lot of people watching this video will know all about Onion OS and even far more than I do, as I'm still quite new to it, but for any other newbies like me, whenever you're in a game, rather than having to go through the RetroArch menu and quit out like we do with other devices, all you need to do is just simply press this button here, this menu button. Just press the button and it will take you out of the game, save exactly where you are with a nice little screenshot, and then you can freely jump back into any of the other games you've recently been playing. So just like that, I'm straight back into the fight I was in before. I don't have to start the game again, I don't have to load up a save file, I don't even need to use any shortcuts to bring up my previous save state like I usually would on other handhelds. All you need to do is just quit out of a game, move along the game switcher, choose another game, and you're right back to where you were. This is dangerous. I might actually be able to finish a game. That's something I never thought I would ever say, because all I usually do with these handhelds is tinker with them, get them set up just perfectly, and then put them away because I'm bored with them now. But with these guys, it's quite scary to think about, but I might actually start finishing my backlog of games. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Like anything you buy, especially something cheap like this, the build quality is not perfect. And actually with this one, my favorite one, you might notice it's not on right now. And it's not completely dead, it does turn on, but something happened. The SD card on these units pops in and out nice and easily. It's something I really like about them. When you push it in, it doesn't quite get depressed all the way. There's a little lip that sticks out there, so even without needing to use a nail or some kind of prying tool, you can just pop it with your fingertip and it comes out nice and easy. But for some reason, with this Miyoo Mini, one time when I popped out the SD card to put a game on it, when I then went to put the SD card back in, it doesn't click anymore. The clicking locking mechanism has somehow just broken, even though I used no force whatsoever to take out the SD card or to put it back in. I was so gentle with it, but for some reason or another, it just doesn't click in anymore. Now I've looked at it, I got my dad, my brother to look at it, everybody's looking inside, they're putting paper inside, putting something to try to click anything, just nothing worked. It just doesn't click anymore. So it's now very finicky whether it actually boots into Onion OS or if it doesn't recognize the card and simply boots into the regular stock firmware with no games. It's really unfortunate because I love this thing. It seems this time we have indeed got back into Onion OS, so I can show you once again how we press that middle button and then scroll through the games I've been playing. And I absolutely love this handheld. But now it's in a state where if I just kind of touch this card by mistake, it's going to completely freeze up. And I'm going to have to restart the whole thing, fiddle around with the card. It's a bit of a mess. One thing I did do with these devices voluntarily is I did take them apart before, and I did the LED tape hack. I found this nice little niche channel called Retro Game Core, which has a great guide on how to hide the LED lights on these. And by sticking some black tape over the top here, the LED no longer obnoxiously shines through. So if you are going to get one of these in a transparent or translucent color like this, I would definitely recommend following the Retro Game Core video and put some black electrical tape over the LED. It makes the whole experience much nicer and less obtrusive. Then you've got yourself a really nice handheld. I'm just so disappointed about this SD card breaking. Please let me know in the comments below if you've had experiences with the SD card slot breaking, because I would love to fix this. And I am absolutely, definitely going to be buying another one of these. First of all, they sent me the wrong color anyway, so I do want to get a different color. And second of all, I just really want a working one of these again because this has given me so much joy. When it comes to the Miyoo Mini Plus, I could take it or leave it. I much prefer the Trim UI brick, which to me seems like a refined version of this. They're very similar in size. I do like the software Onion OS better than the software of the Trim UI brick, but the Trim UI brick also does have good software, lots of custom firmware options, and it's just such a solid device. You also, of course, have the option to get the metal brick hammer version. So both great devices. For me personally, I'll be sticking with the brick, but when I want something even smaller than the brick, this will be my go-to choice from now on. I love this thing. I completely understand why people love Onion OS, and I also completely understand why these are the handhelds which for a lot of people got them into this hobby and made them fall in love with it. I think these are excellent handhelds. If you'd like to buy some for yourself, I'll of course have affiliate links in the description below, which help me out if you click on them. I also have all of my affiliate links on my Ryan Boy store on my website, so please check that out as well. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Also check out all of my other channels like my TikTok, my Instagram, all these things that I just kicked off today. And if you'd like to see a little bit of bonus content and talk with me a little bit more, check out my Patreon and join the Retro family. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.